What is up, YouTube? Fahros here with another Diablo 4 video. Today, I am gonna teach you my 3 most important tips on how to stay alive and make it to hardcore level 100 in Diablo 4. I recently completed this journey, secured my name on the statue that Blizzard is putting up at Blizzard HQ, and I see a lot of questions around Twitch and YouTube. Hey, how'd you do this? How'd this person do this? So I'm here to make a video just outlining my 3 best tips on how you can achieve the same task, maybe if you want to try to do it in a future season or something. So without further ado, let's get into it. As soon as I get into the game here, I'm going to show you my number 1 tip, the most important tip on how to stay alive. Well, one of the most important tips for how to stay alive and make it to level 100 without losing your character is not only use your scroll of escape, but keybind them. How do you keybind them so you can use them instantly? I'm about to show you. First off, what's a scroll of escape? They're gonna drop throughout your whole journey. It requires level 20, so pretty much anytime 20 plus, you're gonna be getting scrolls of escape, and it teleports you to a town instantly. No cast time, no nothing. Zip, you're out of there. Okay, so that's great, but I see some people trying to do this. They're fighting. Oh no, they're about to die. They open their character panel, they click consumables, and they try to click this scroll. That ain't the way. Here's what you really do. You have it in here, right? You hit E, bring up your little emote item wheel. You hit customize. You go to consumables, you find scroll of escape, you put it there. Okay, so now you might think, oh, I just hit E and then click it. No, it gets better than that. Then you hit escape, go to options, go to controls, key binding, scroll down until you find the wheel, and then go to the middle wheel, and then keybind these to your heart's content. Alt+1 is my potion, that's just my personal preference, and then my key items are Alt+2, Alt+3, Alt+4, Alt+5, and Alt+theta. So I've got my scroll of escape on Alt+2. That means if anything's happening, I'm running around, something happens, zip! I just used it. I just used the scroll of escape. It teleported me to town just like that. Now, if you're not already in town, you'll hit a loading screen, but you get the point. Whether you proc cheat death, whether you find yourself in a room that you know you're not going to be able to handle, no matter what it is, be able to hit that scroll of escape instantly without bringing up any menus, without bringing up any wheel. Be able to make it as easily, as quickly on yourself as possible to be able to hit that and get back to safety. That's my number 1 tip. My number 2 tip, moving on to tip number 2, how to stay alive in this hardcore journey. You need to have a build that has some unstoppable moves. Preferably multiple, all right? This is the build I ended up leveling to 100 with. I had Poison Trap, Shadow Step, Shadow Imbuement, Conceal, Forceful Arrow, Pen Shot. This is not a traditional build that you're gonna find on the internet. I wanted the Shadow Step because it's a very low cooldown with Unstoppable. Unstoppable in this game means that not only are you immune to CC while this move is going off, but this will break CC. That's the key point. It'll break CC. So if I'm stunned right here, and there's an enemy right here, I can Shadow Step to this enemy and it will break the stun. If I would have sat in that stun for 4 seconds, I could Shadow Step out of that stun immediately and then be free for that 4 seconds instead. So, as you can imagine, on hardcore, where you can lose your life in one bad go, it's very important to be able to break CCs when the monsters do hit you and you do get caught out of position. It'll save your character to be able to break them. And then, well, that's why I like 2 moves with Unstoppable, because let's say you get unlucky and you use one of your moves to avoid a mechanic or avoid some damage, and then you get CC'd. Oh man. Well, that's why having a backup crowd control can really be helpful. I'm not saying you have to do this, it's not a mandatory, but it's something you might want to keep in mind to think about, hey, is there any way I could alter my build? And that's the real tip here. Don't be afraid to alter your build. You're playing hardcore. when you look at builds online, they may be just builds optimized for the most damage or builds optimized for the fastest clear time of a nightmare dungeon or a boss. But you're doing something different here. You're doing something unique. You're doing a hardcore challenge. So you might want to tweak that build a little bit to give yourself a little more life on your gear, or give yourself a little bit more unstoppable than a pure DPS build would otherwise focus on. So consider that. See if your class can get itself maybe an unstoppable little perk of a skill, or maybe a lower cooldown on an unstoppable move, or maybe an extra one that your class wouldn't normally take. You might be surprised. It might save you. And by the way, we were talking about the scroll of escape earlier. I don't think you can use those if you're stunned. So it's very important to be able to break the CC and to even use the first tip I gave you, which is scroll of escape out. Okay, tip number 3. I'm sure you were expecting this one, but my third and final, and maybe honestly the most important tip for how to stay alive and just make it to level 100 without losing your character is use your damn Elixir of Death evasions. Listen, no matter if you think this should or should not be in the game or not, understand this. The people that you're running with, the people that you're competing against, the people that are doing the same journey as you, they are using this Elixir of Death evasion. 99.9% of them are chugging these things, okay? So get comfortable with it. Get used to the idea of keeping these on. Now listen, they're required level 10, so you can't use them for the first 10 levels. Hello. And even past that, they require a lot of mats to make. So I don't remember using these until like the first 40-ish levels. For the first 40-ish levels, just play safe and try to stay alive. Play slow, play steady, don't rush, and try to stay alive. After the first 40 levels, you should start getting some of these materials. Let's look at them real quick. Not only am I going to tell you guys to use these, but I'm going to tell you how to farm the mats very efficiently so you can keep these up without wasting a shitload of time. So, Demon's Heart, Crushed Beast Bones, Pale Tongue, Grave Tusk, and Angel Breath. Like I said, you're not going to have a ton of these when you first start. So, just play safe for the first 40 or so levels, then get a couple of these, keep them in your consumables, and then whenever you're going to do something hard, whenever you're going to be pushing your limits, pop one in advance. Don't wait until shit goes south. Pop it in advance as soon as you're not sure of exactly what you're walking into. Okay. Then, once you get to like World Tier 3 or 4, try to have these up all the time by using the following tricks that I'm going to teach you, okay? Right now I'm going to teach you how to get these mats efficiently so you can keep them up pretty much 99% of the time from level 50 or 60 all the way to 100. So here's how I got these mats. I would get the Demon's Heart, the Crushed Beast Bones, the Pale Tongues, and the Grave Dust. I would go in one circuit and I would get all 4 of those mats. I'd spend maybe 10 minutes doing it, and I'd get like 10 of each mat-ish. So I'm gonna show you, I'll show you on the map. What I did was I teleported all around the world, and I killed elite mobs that spawn every 30 minutes or so. So the first one's right here. I would teleport to Tyrmare, and I would mount over here. There's an elite right there. It's like 5 Crushed Beast Bones. Then I would get on my map, and I'd mount to there. And there's another elite right there, another 5 Crushed Beast Bones. So then you got like 10 Crushed Beast Bones. Then I teleport down here in Fractured Peaks to Menestad. And I'd mount to right here, west of Menestad. There's an elite right there, 5 Grave Dust. Then I'd get on my mount, I'd run down here. There's another elite right there, another 5 Grave Dust. Then I teleport down here to Wedge and Hani. And I mount to this way marker right here next to my cursor. That's 5 Pale Tongues. Then I teleport down here to Virez, and I mount over here. That's an elite with another 5 Pale Tongues. You're gonna find an elite monster in each one of these locations. You kill them, it drops like 5-ish of the material you need for the Elixir of Death evasion. Then we're going over here to Iron Wolves encampment, and we're mounting and going right here. Right here. There's another elite that drops 5 Demon's Horns, and then we're teleporting up to the Altar of Ruin, and we're mounting right here. There's like a Ghost elite that drops another 5 Demon Horns. So that's like 10 of each of those materials that you need for the Elixir of Death evasion. The only thing I didn't cover yet was the angel breath. You can find the angel breath pretty much everywhere as you're running around in your journeys. Just pick them up wherever you see them. It's just a random flower. It's kind of a rare one though. If you need more, the way you can really farm angel breath, as you see I got 63 just sitting there. The way you can farm them is nightmare dungeons. So just farm nightmare dungeons, make sure you're doing one that you can realistically farm and you know, it's not too hard or anything. You're not really pushing high ones and dying all the time or proccing your death evasions all the time. Just keep doing the easier ones and you'll get a ton of angel breath, and then you can make a ton of these death evasions, and then you have them up all the time. Now you still want to keep playing safe, because every time you proc one of these, what will happen is when you would otherwise die, your elixir of death evasion will proc and you'll get a fiery shield around your character. As soon as that happens, no matter what, go back to tip number 1 and hit Alt+2 or whatever it is and use your scroll of escape. Do not fuck with it. Do not let your ego get in the way. Do not try to finish the mob. No! Your elixir of cheat death will only keep you alive for 2 seconds. So as soon as this happens, you hit this, okay? You hit this. You go back to town, you wait. And then this will be on cooldown for 5 minutes. This won't be able to proc for another 5 minutes. In which case, if you want, you can risk something easy like farming these elites I'm talking about. Or what I did at the higher levels was I just sat my ass in town, I waited for the 5 minutes to be up, and then I popped another elixir of death evasion, and I went about my business. Guys, if you take it seriously, if you put in the time to farm the elixir of death evasions, if you go through these settings and you make sure you're mentally prepared to execute on these tips, I think you will make it to level 100 hardcore on your next character. Let me know in the comments below if this video helped you out. If it did, give it a like. Listen, there's lots more I could talk about. I could talk a lot more about builds, stats, gear, item choices, stat choices, these type of things. If you'd like to hear more, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I think I'm gonna leave it at these 3 critical tips for now, and I'll see you guys in the next video, man. Yo, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more. Come check me out live on twitch.tv/Fahros, where I'm full-time streaming this game. And hey man, I'll see you in the next season. Let's try to make something of it. All right, take care everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video.